So the game that we're going to be reviewing today is a weird one. At first glance, it feels like that this was created because someone over at Namco looked at the Sega Genesis and the SNES and was like, hey, we need to stop what we're doing and we need to make a new game so that we're back, baby. Like, come on, guys. It's been what? 14 years. Come on, we need to make something. That's it. We're gonna make a sequel to Pac-Man, baby. And didn't know how to make a sequel to a game that pioneered gaming. But goddamn did they try. Welcome everyone. My name is Espion, and today we are going to judge the game Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures. Now, right off the bat, as you could probably already tell, this is a sequel to the hit game that came out before a majority of us were even born. The game that pioneered gaming along with Pong, Mario Bros, and so on. And that, my friends, is Pac-Man. Yeah, don't worry. If it wasn't in the name and plastered everywhere on and in the fucking game, I wouldn't have thought this was Pac-Man either. But, yeah. This is Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures. It was made in the year 1994, a good 14 years after Pac-Man initially launched. And unlike Pac-Man, this game has a story where you play through the day in the life of Pac-Man, who is apparently super fucking famous in his own sequel. What the fuck, man? Now, graphically for its time, and if I'm being honest, I'd argue even today, when it comes to 2D games like 2D games like this, I'd say the graphics still hold up fairly well. And instead of it being your traditional Pac-Man game, it's instead of side-scrolling point and click adventure game. I gotta say, for a game that came out on the SNES and the Sega Genesis, it's kind of cool that games like this are even around back then, or even on those consoles rather. In the beginning of the game, it does introduce you to the cast of main characters of the game, which seem to be Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Kid Pac-Man, Baby Pac-Man, the 4 ghosts, some weird ass witch, and Superman Pac-Man. Not really much else for me to say on this segment, really. I mean, there is a tutorial, and I'll be honest, I kind of got stuck in it once. Didn't know how to get out of it, and I just kind of panicked and shut the game off. But, yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the gameplay and see what exactly is in store for us in Pac-Man 2. So the game starts with your wife, Lady Pac-Man, asking you to go get milk for Baby Pac-Man because she forgot to go get some before. Oh, well, what the fuck, man? Your legs seem to work fine. Why don't you get it, you lazy piece of shit? Alright, whatever. Because Pac-Man loves his wife's self, he'll go ahead and do it. Now, this may come as a shock to you. Guys, but despite being this big-time celebrity in the game itself, Pac-Man, well, his neighbors don't seem to care about him. They do not care that his ass is a celebrity or not. They will treat him the same. Good, too. Like, for good reason, because Pac-Man is a bit of a dickhead. Like, this farmer that you're seeing right now, he's minding his own business, just casually wants people off his property. You know, I can respect that. You know, people admire and respect their privacy. They want people to respect their privacy as well. Not fucking Pac-Man. This farmer doesn't want anyone on his property. That's respectable. That's respectable. Nobody wants to have that happen. What does Pac-Man do? He fucking walks on the property. Ooh, this farmer is not happy. And so the farmer will grab Pac-Man, yelling at him, he's like, yo, what the hell are you doing, man? This is my property. Now, how do you get him out of this situation? You have him just talk with the farmer, maybe go the other way, don't step on his property? No, no. You commit murder. Yeah, Pac-Man isn't your happy-go-lucky Nintendo hero that you see nowadays, like Mario and Zelda, or fucking Zelda, Link. Nah. Pac-Man's a bit of a dickhead. But anyway, you get the milk because it's on the stoop. You have to get the bird on the telephone pole to come knock it down. But you get the milk. You go back to your wife and your kid. You give the milk to your wife and have baby Pac-Man drink themselves into a coma. And then the game cuts to black, and that's the end of Act 1. Well, after the ghosts who look exhausted for no reason whatsoever. Man, it was rough getting that milk glass on that stoop. Yeah, no kidding, Clyde. Next time we're gonna get the other chuckle fucks to do it. Man, do you think we did a good job helping that farmer with his hay? Yeah, bro, you saw how relaxed he was. We did him a favor. Suddenly the ghosts enter this room. And, well, don't really have much, but it seems that they're getting interrogated by this ugly looking motherfucker who looks like a villain from Thundercats or some shit. Alright, and that was Act 1. Let's go on and move on to Act 2, where it starts with Pac-Man enjoying some nice quality time with his TV. Then suddenly his wife appears, telling him that, hey, you mind going get our neighbor a flower for her birthday? Which, if that was all it was, sure, yeah, I can do that. That's not a problem. But no. She demands fresh flowers, so you have to take a cable car to the mountains, dodge rocks, cliff falls, old platforms that can break under you, a minecart ride, and hang gliding, just to get to the top of the mountain and have your eardrum shattered from a balloon. Just get a fresh flower for her birthday. Now we can go back to the house and give that bitch her flower. And get back to your happy TV time. Yeah, fuck yeah, boys. We did all that for fucking nothing because Miss Pac-Man is a fucker and had a fresh flower waiting. But that was Act 2. We cut to black. The Thundercats freak spooks the ghosts for doing nothing yet again. And yeah, on to Act 3. We're on to Act 3, which begins with Kid Pac-Man crying, much like his father. Because those pesky ghosts decided to steal his guitar like some high school hooligans. You know, Kid Pac-Man, you know the police exist, right? You just call them and have them arrested. I mean, I know they're ghosts and all, but if they can grab things that easily, surely you can have them handle it? No. Gotta get Daddy to go to the city and have more issues, here than at home. Sure, why not? Remember when I said that Pac-Man is a fucking menace? Yeah, no. Replace menace with fucking asshole. This man is fucking unhinged. Eventually, as you're progressing through the city, you'll find this blue motherfucker blocking something while also holding a guitar. Man, it really does feel like that the cops could have handled this a lot better than, you know, getting your father to do it. Eventually, Pac-Man wants to see what he's blocking. He goes to take a look, and the guy blocks him, and eventually Pac-Man starts arguing with the man. And the guy grabs him, and he's about to eject Pac-Man out of here. He's like, no. He's like, no. Get the hell out. I'm tired of dealing with you. Until you yourself intervene, revealing that it was the ghost all along. So in order to, you know, take care of the situation, Pac-Man eats one of his pellets, becomes Superman Pac-Man. And you go ahead and eat the ghost. You get the guitar. Go home and be proud of your pathetic son for ripping on the guitar for a while. And that concludes Act 3, and on to the final act we go. Now, Act 4 starts with Pac-Man having TV time again when suddenly...
Breaking news!
The ghosts are stealing already chewed chewing gum? Well, for something sinister probably, I'm sure. Then it cuts to the ghost witch, as she's called, I guess, which just casually explains her evil plan of the world. To create a monster made out of gum. Gross. Now, this is probably the longest act in the game because to enter the area to fight the witch and this gum monster, you need to find these 3 ID cards, which are scattered throughout the areas you previously visited. So you have to find the ghosts in the suburban area where Pac-Man lives. Get that ID card, go back up to the mountains to find that ID card. And then you have to go through the city to find that one. And when you do have all 3 ID cards, you go back to the city. Be a fucking asshole by fucking up the sewers because you are such an incompetent and ignorant fuck that you decided to restrain, tie up, and tape a goddamn leaking fire hydrant. Man, maybe Pac-Man is the villain here. But when that's done, you go into the sewer. Get beat the fuck up by some thugs. Get diseases from a mouse. Go for a swim. And finally reach the abandoned factory. Which, for being abandoned, kinda wild, it still has power. But eventually you come to realize that this is a place to create... Wait, whoa, hold on. This is where the ghosts are created? Starting to think these aren't really ghosts. Anyway, you progress further and further until you find the room where the ghosts were in those cutscenes. This is where the ID cards will come into play because you need to figure out the sequence to put them in to gain access. Or if you don't, you will get attacked by ghosts and will have to leave and try again. But once you get the right order, you will enter and be met with the next evolution to the Pokemon Muck. And yeah, there's the witch right there up top, commanding the god monster. And this is where we begin.
It was a mistake to come here.
The final encounter. Now, to fight the Cum Man himself, you need to eat your power drug, become Superman Pac-Man, and... Oh! Never mind. Superman, Pac-Man, it doesn't matter. The gun monster will still beat your ass. So you know who has to do this and win this entire fight for you? That's right. He's you. You ain't relying on Pac-Man. He's you. You're the one doing this. So yeah, while Pac-Man is flying around trying to dodge these hands and eat these ghosts, your job is to slap the arms with the slingshot or slap him in the head with the slingshot. Eventually, when you do beat the gun monster, the end sequence will play. Pac-Man will take all the credit because he's the hero of the show and you're not real. And that will conclude the story of Pac-Man. Not really much happens at the end. The Ghost Witch cries that she'll be back and she'll beat Pac-Man this time, I swear. And again, it's not really much going out of left field when it comes to the end of the game. It's your standard run-of-the-mill. So I think I've showed you everything that the gameplay has to offer, what the story is. So let's go ahead and move on to the final bit of this video. Go ahead and give the game our verdict. So after reviewing this game, and let me just go ahead and get my bias out of the way right now. I played this game a lot as a kid, and I loved it because of how the game played and everything. But getting that out of the way, I do have to ask, why? Why make this game? Why make it about Pac-Man? There were so many other things that they could have done to make this game more worthwhile. For starters, this could have just been its own game. They could have changed the story of Pac-Man, changed the antagonist, changed the main enemy, changed all of that, and they could have made this its own like standalone game. They really could have. But instead, they decided to take the game that was made 14 years ago when this game was created. They decided that after 14 years, it was time to make a sequel to a game where you play as a cheese pizza with a slice missing, eating pellets, and popping a pill to kill ghosts. I mean, I think the game should be remembered. I think it has a very unique play style, and that I think everyone should try it. It is a pretty good. It was a pretty decent game to play. I mean, I'm giving it a personal rating of a 6 out of 10. So it's going into our archive. But man, it's just, why? Why Pac-Man? The game is fun, don't get me wrong. Or at least to me it was. But the best way to describe the game is that it feels like Pac-Man made this game himself just to suck his own dick. Like, it's almost like the president of Namco at the time was like, yeah, I'm the one that made Pac-Man. Yeah, and you know what else I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make a sequel where he is the main star and he's gonna do everything and he's gonna be a badass. Like, that's how it feels like that this game was made. But regardless, Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures, enjoy your spot in our archive. You will not be tossed in the dumpster with Dear Avenger 3D. You know, I'm sure one day he'll have a buddy in there.
Never a dull moment.
Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did creating it. This was such a fun trip down memory lane playing Pac-Man 2 again. I really found it funny that I was playing it and thinking that this could have been better if it, well, if it wasn't based on Pac-Man. It had so much potential to be a game on its own and not just a, for lack of a better term, a cash grab. Because really, I think the only reason this game did big and did well somewhat is because it had the name Pac-Man in it. But regardless, I thought it was very innovative and unique for the time. Hell, even today, you don't see many games like it anymore. So it was really cool playing this type of game again, especially since it came out back on the SNES or Sega Genesis. But anyway, if you liked the video, leave a like, dislike it if you disliked it. Leave a comment on your thoughts of the game, or if you have a game you'd like me to look at. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I have to go activate and prep the next game that we are reviewing, so I'm gonna leave you with a little teaser of what is to come. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next Should We Preserve This video.
Computer activated guano.
If this weren't a video game, I'd be on my way to prison.